Many of our adult habits and reactions come from things we went through as kids. The way we deal with stress, handle relationships, and even how we talk to ourselves often ties back to our early years. Childhood experiences shape our brains and bodies in lasting ways, creating patterns that follow us into adulthood, sometimes without us even knowing it. Healing starts with spotting these patterns in ourselves. When we see the link between our past hurts and current struggles, we can begin to change. With the right support and tools, we can build healthier ways of coping and living that aren't tied to old wounds. 1. People pleasing. People pleasers put everyone else's needs before their own. They often grew up in homes where their feelings didn't matter or where they had to keep adults happy to stay safe. 2. Fear of abandonment. This shows up as clingy behavior or pushing people away before they can leave. Children who were left alone or whose needs weren't met consistently often carry this fear into their adult relationships. 3. Perfectionism. Perfectionists set impossible standards for themselves and feel like failures when they don't measure up. This often stems from childhoods where love or approval only came when they performed well. 4. Trouble setting boundaries. Adults who struggle to say no or stand up for themselves typically weren't allowed to have boundaries as children. They learned early that their space and limits didn't matter. 5. Constant apologizing. Saying sorry for everything, even things that aren't your fault, often comes from being blamed or criticized too much as a child. These adults learn to take responsibility for others' feelings and reactions. 6. Control issues. Needing to control everything can be a response to feeling helpless or unsafe in childhood. Adults with control issues try to manage every detail to avoid the feeling of things spinning out of control. 7. Low self-worth. Feeling unworthy of love or success often starts with messages received in childhood. Children who were frequently criticized or compared to others often grow up questioning their own value. 8. Difficulty expressing emotions. Some adults struggle to name or show their feelings because they weren't taught how or were punished for showing emotion as children. They learn to bottle things up instead of sharing them. 9. Fear of conflict. Running from disagreements often comes from growing up in homes with scary or unpredictable conflict. These adults never learned that healthy conflict can strengthen relationships rather than destroy them. 10. Chronic people reading. Always scanning for mood changes and trying to read between the lines comes from having to spot danger signs in unpredictable caregivers. This hypervigilance was once a survival skill, but becomes exhausting in adulthood. 11. Self-sabotage. Ruining good opportunities or relationships often happens when success feels unsafe or unfamiliar. Children who grew up with inconsistency may unconsciously create chaos that feels more normal to them. 12. Shame spirals. Getting stuck in overwhelming shame after small mistakes usually traces back to harsh punishment or humiliation in childhood. These adults learned that making mistakes meant they were bad people, not just people who did something wrong. 13. Caretaking at their own expense. Always taking care of others while neglecting themselves often starts when children have to parent their siblings or even their own parents. They never learn that their needs matter too, carrying this pattern into adult relationships. Recognizing these patterns is the first big step toward healing and growth. While we can't change our past, we can change how it affects our present and future by building awareness and learning new ways to respond to life's challenges. With patience and sometimes professional help, we can break free from old patterns and create healthier relationships with ourselves and others, proving that while our past may explain our behaviors, it doesn't have to define our lives.